Hey, happy fresh fade, fresh year.
That's hilarious. That sounded a lot like Harry Carey. Hey,
hi.
What about this? It's a new year, everybody.
How often would you say we have visited Harry Carey impersonations on this podcast? 'Cause I know this is at least the third
Kelsey
or fourth
says
time.
it's 6. Kelsey,
Six times.
5
Six
or
times.
6.
Okay. All right. Well,
We'll go for
Kelsey
7
is
later.
Yeah, we go for 7.
Would you eat the boat if it was made of cheese? It's a simple yes or no question. I would. I'd wash it down with a tall, cool Budweiser, which is so funny because it's actually not Harry Carey, but it is the Will Ferrell Harry Carey.
Yes.
Possibly the best impression of someone that sticks better than the person.
I mean, even his like George W. impression was, sticks with me more than anything George W. said.
Yeah.
Strategery being one of the words that he made up.
You know what's funny is that I actually yelled at somebody last week, get off the shed. Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, Your Money, Your Move, and Liquid Death, Murder Your Thirst. Let's get back into it. And no one really knew what the hell I was talking about. Hey, get off the shed.
That's amazing. I guess that's pretty true for like there's cover songs that are like more well known than the original, like All Along the Watchtower and that kind of stuff.
Sure,
sure. I just find it funny that's happening in comedy now too. Like the parody is landing. I was
trying to think of other ones that are so good, that the impressions are so good.
Yeah,
but my mind is blanking.
That's okay. I mean, you've had a week. I mean, it is the beginning of the 24.
Yes, so Happy New Year, 2024.
Congratulations, you made it.
We made it.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like during that time of year, it's like everything is fucked. It's just all kind of like. I think I played a couple shows over the weekend right before New Year's, and I couldn't tell you what day they were on.
No.
I couldn't tell you when I ate a square meal. I couldn't tell you how many cookies I consumed over a 6-day period because it was all of them. And, my blood sugars are fucking all over the place. I ate so much charcuterie that I think I permanently increased my cholesterol.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm
cholesterol up for 2024,
and now I'm like trying to get back. And I went to the gym this morning, did all this stuff I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm going to get back on this train. But it's just like that fucking like week and a half of Christmas and New Year's. It's just like, what day is it?
Yeah, it was. It's even worse for me because, so I guess we'll just give up the ghost here.
Yeah, get into it.
So we've been sick.
Yeah.
So the gunk hit the house.
Ew, sorry.
Hit Christmas Eve, maybe a little bit before.
Yeah.
I think it's because somebody had to go out late to get gifts, not me. But
the cats. It was definitely the cats went out.
I'm a few days behind. I'm a few days behind in the thing, but I have been completely sick for a week.
Yeah.
So sick on Christmas, the day after Christmas, the nether region, the gooch, the
holiday taint
of the year. Yes. So like as far as like not knowing what day it is, what time it is, didn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to breathe.
Yeah.
Try to get nasal stuff, arguing about whether Dayquil has the real stuff in it or not. And just trying to breathe and sleep and trying to sleep and can't sleep. And oh my God. And then, it's just been madness. It's just been horrible. Yeah. And that means New Year's. So I want to hear about your amazing New Year's, but let me tell you about mine.
Go ahead and tell me about yours.
My crazy rock star life. Mr. Rich Music Executive. What a crazy time we had. Woo! I was going to stay at home. Well, actually, I had plans to go to my friend's house. I think they were going to tell me whether or not they were moving to Carp or Porto. There were some people we were going to play cards. It was going to be fantastic. The day before, I'm like, I don't think this is happening. I can't breathe. I can't sleep. I can't get up.
Yeah.
And so the day happens, and it turns out that yet another one of our friends who was going to go over, who had spent Christmas Eve with us, or Christmas with us.
Yes.
She was sick as well.
Oh, fuck.
So everybody's sick.
Everybody's sick.
So we're like, we're out. We can't go.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, well, then it's just, and it wasn't one of those, like, I just don't feel like it. I'm going to blank out or whatever. No, we were really totally sick.
Oh, yeah.
So we get on New Year's Eve, and yeah, I mean, I've got alcohol in the house. We've got things in the house. I can do stuff.
Yeah.
But I got up on New Year's Eve, and I just made like a big pot of Jewish chicken noodle soup.
Hell yes.
Like, okay, let me see if this will help.
Yeah.
It did a little bit.
Good.
But so this is my crazy New Year's Eve. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to celebrate East Coast. Like, I'm going to make it to 10.
Yeah.
That is as far as I'm going to make it. Made it to 10, shot of tequila.
Yeah.
Few things, celebrated just a little bit, did the dance, did the stuff. But then went and sat in a dark room to get rid of a headache. I'd had a really massive headache all day.
Yeah.
Sat in a dark room to try to go to sleep, and then was pulled back out of that dark room to be like, hey, so we're really close to making it for our New Year's.
Yeah.
So sat up and we listened to Animals.
Oh,
to
Pink Floyd? Nice. That's a solid choice.
You're going to have a conversation. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a conversation with this person about why Animals is the best Pink Floyd New Year's Eve album.
I don't know why, but it's my favorite Pink Floyd record.
Oh, it was a whole thing about industrialism and people as animals and wanting a new change and the change of things, but there's a coda because the beginning starts with basically a prayer, a benediction, and ends with that benediction, and it's like turning the page.
Yeah.
I still say Dark Side of the Moon because I think it's about time, and I think it's about the movement of celestial bodies and time and stuff. So that was my thing.
Celestial bodies and hard bodies.
Okay, but this is me on loaded on a little tequila and probably a little
and all the
weed
NyQuil,
and a bunch of NyQuil, going like, I don't think Animals is that. But anyway, you guys are going to have that conversation another time because you probably know Pink Floyd better than I do.
I don't know if that's true. I think it's so open to interpretation mostly, But Animals is my favorite Pink Floyd record, and it's a fucking masterpiece.
I'm so glad that you're not a fucking Uma Guma guy or something.
I mean, it's Uma Guma's
that
fine.
Guy, get the fuck out of here.
Saucer Full of Secrets is fine, but
for Christ's sake, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Whenever I hear somebody like, oh yeah, that's, you guys don't even know that's the best Pink Floyd album. It's like, no, it isn't. But it is a Pink Floyd album.
It's all open to interpretation. Everybody's allowed their opinion. Stop yelling, Michael. You'll tire yourself out.
They are not. Diver Down sucks. That's a horrible Van Halen album. Don't tell me that's the best album.
I don't think
it just isn't.
But it's okay for you to have that opinion. It's okay for somebody else to have a different opinion. It doesn't matter if they're wrong or not.
Okay, there you go. Oh, I should be able to say that in my head.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your
inside
opinion.
Voices, Michael. Inside voices.
Sorry, yes.
But Diver Down does have that great cover of Pretty Woman on it.
Not an album.
And it has Cathedral, right?
It's not a great album. It's not their best album. It's not even the second best album. Fourth best album, no.
I listened to, speaking of Van Halen, I listened to Van Halen 3 with Gary Cherone the other day, and I texted our friend Chris and said to him, the one thing I love about this that I don't get on recordings anymore, there's a couple of really great riffs on there, and Gary Cherone's fine, the band's fine, but there's this riff that happens with all this space and these big, beautiful Eddie Van Halen chugs on it, and you can hear the amp just in the room just going.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it's right. And I was like, oh, I love that.
Wow.
And it's not super
honestly,
loud.
I have not heard it enough to hear that.
Oh, I have. Well, I was at a gig.
I know you're more okay with Van Halen 3 than I am.
I'm a big Gary Cherone fan. It was not a Van Halen record. It was an Eddie Van Halen exploration. But it's but like just like stuff like that. I was listening to it in my headphones because I was at a gig and I had to be there 4 hours before I played. Set up before 4 hours before I played. So I was on Instagram, and that Without You song popped up on like, you remember this Van Halen debacle? And I was like, fuck, that song is a banger. I don't give a shit what you say. I enjoyed that. So I put it on, and in the middle of the song, you can hear the guitar breakdown, and the amps just humming in the background. And it made me really happy to hear that in headphones. And I think I'm going to bring that shit back because I've got a lot of noisy amps.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You know what? Like, you are bold to listen to Van Halen 3 before a gig.
Why?
I don't know. I think that would throw me off my game.
I don't have any game. I was playing cover songs. Nobody gives a fuck about the asshole singing about his feelings in the corner.
Yeah.
No, it was fine. It was fun. It was like a pre-wedding party thing. So after all of the debacle and the NyQuil and soup and Pink Floyd arguments, did you make it to 12:02 and then go get the fuck out of my store and go to bed?
I did.
Excellent.
Exactly 12:02.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I always so. I mean, musician. So I mean, it's that way, but it's always like, what's the first song you want to hear into the near year? And I have for many years always listened to "So What You Want" from Beastie Boys. I love that song. It's probably my most listened to song in my whole life. That's
a real like hype man song. You can get going on that thing.
Yeah, and when I used to DJ in strip clubs, this is a whole different book. But like when I used to do that, I used to play it every day to start my shift.
Yeah.
Like before, I would tune the speakers and everything to it.
Yeah.
And so
you know exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I still don't know all the lyrics to it. But I have literally heard that song probably thousands of times. Like literally thousands of times.
Yeah.
But it is a song I love to listen to for the first part of the new year. And then the second song, I think we listened to Boilermaker from Royal Blood.
Royal Blood, that's a good call.
And then things kind of went off the rails from there. I think we started, just doing like random YouTube songs and shit. I'm trying to remember what the third song was. But yeah, it kind of went off the rails because then it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I did my part. And the thing was, it's not just that I was sick, it's that I have a headache.
Yeah.
It's
that's even worse, yeah.
Oh, well, okay, what song do you want to listen to next? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah. I got a headache. I don't want to listen to anything.
Sound of silence.
I have this conversation. I used to have this. It wasn't an argument. It was with one of my ex-girlfriends. But I would be driving in the car. I drive in silence a lot.
Yes.
I listen, and the reason is because I spend 10, 12 hours a day listening to audio or something, constant streams of audio. If I'm editing or if I'm learning songs, it's like constant. Or, evaluating shit for sync or whatever it's going to be. It's 8, 10 hours a day of doing that stuff. And so when I'm in the car, coming home from a gig in particular, it is fucking dead silent. Or I'm going out to dinner, I want to have a conversation because music will distract me. Because I actively listen.
This brings up a point with you in a car.
Yeah.
That we never got to. Okay, after the Royal Blood show that we went to.
Did I?
And we piled all the crazy people into the back.
Yeah.
And we played a song. We got into the car, played a song, peeled out onto Broadway.
Yes.
Because you're a badass driver and you're like, yeah,
I'm
cool.
terrible driver.
And I was like, remind me to tell you something that's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh, is it something I did?
No, well, but no, it wasn't necessarily something that you did. I think it was somebody in the back, and she's listening to this. But here it is. I cannot stand listening to music from the band I just saw live after a show.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Like, I think we listened to a Royal Blood song, whichever one it may have been Boilermaker. But whatever it was, I was just like, oh, remind me to tell you that this is yet another Michael thing that gets pissy about.
Here's a list of things that piss me off.
But I shut up, right? I shut up and I just let it go. And then we got into My Chem and we all sang along and that was fantastic. Yeah. But like that was the thing. It is a pet peeve of mine. Like, we just fucking heard it.
But what about it? What if it's a song that they didn't play? What if it's a song they didn't play and you're just like your favorite fucking song? And they didn't play this one.
To me, the show's done. We're done here.
Yeah, I've had the experience. I understand.
But I mean, my preference, right, is like nothing at all.
Yeah.
I just was at a show for 2 hours. My ears hurt. I just don't want anything.
I'm just fucking tired.
That is not what happens with, let's say, the party you're with a lot of times.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're like, let's keep it going. Woo! And of course, we did keep it going with mezcal and hot sauce and
the most
tequila.
delicious hot sauce that, those hot sauces with those tacos. That was a good night. You can't really go wrong. We had a little, me and our friend had a little pregame. We went to the show, and then we had a little postgame. With some great tacos. It was a fucking great night.
Speaking of which, so how was your New Year's? So now you know what my crazy rock star life was like.
Okay, so I played. I was at. It was a weekend. I made a weekend of it. I decided I was going to get all of my socialization in New Year's weekend. So I went and saw my old bandmates in Freddie Jones' band on Friday. That was really, really, really fun. Shout out to Rich Ross, old friend of everybody, tour manager, bass player extraordinaire. He's been dealing with some stuff, and so our friend Chris Reedy filled in on bass for him that night. God, and
Reedy
fucking
is such a badass.
Crushed it. He was so good. And I was like, just, you can always tell when your friends are a little nervous, and so I just was like standing and like as close to him as I could, just pouring good mojo at him because I love him to pieces. And so, it was just a really wonderful, fun night. We went to the Atomic Cowboy and got some fucking pizza afterwards, and it was just a lovely night. I got to see my friend Goose, who was, John Fogerty's drummer for half a tour, kind of bit. And so that was really, really wonderful. That was Friday, the 29th.
Let's not put dates on things. But
and then on the Saturday, I played with the Blackouts and the Iron Maidens at the same theater I saw Freddie Jones the night before. And the interesting thing is the Friday night show, I was ready to be social. By the time Saturday hit, I was done being social.
Well, yeah, now you're working.
Now I'm like working. So like I was just, and it was a really fun, it was a Megadeth tribute opened up the show. They were fun, and of course the Maidens were amazing as always. So it was a really, really fun night, and got to see the owner of the O Theater, Andy, our friend as well, a bunch of times. And then Sunday, I was not sure if I was gonna make it. I was like, you know what? I've done 2 nights of peopling. I had the gig Thursday, the pre-wedding gig Thursday, Freddie Jones Friday, show at the O on Saturday. I was peopled out. Yeah. But our friend Allie, the singer of the Blackouts, the lady metal band that I play with, too. Yeah, me too. She and her husband made a big feast and invited everybody over. I was the only single person there. Everybody else was all wifed and husbanded up. But it was so I basically like looked at my dog, and I said, "All right, you're gonna nap for the next 2 to 4 hours." I called an Uber, and I got over there. And Ubers were cheap on New Year's Eve. I was shocked at
really.
I thought I was going to be spending $50 each direction to get there because she lives about 20 minutes away from me. No, I was like $16-17 both ways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. That was really, really great.
I should have gone out.
No, you shouldn't have done. Like, you assholes done arguing about Floyd, I'll be outside. No, it was like, so it's like I went over there. We had a lovely dinner. I drank Guinness. Just, as a Scotsman, you drink Guinness. And they like, Allie's husband, Will, made a seafood stew.
Oh.
Or a seafood me. As I like to call it. And
that's a good joke, Stu.
Ask me about my dad jokes.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So yeah, it was a really, really lovely few days, and the last since basically New Year's Day, I've been in the studio editing and mixing and fixing and cleaning up some stuff for people, and everything's going fucking great, man.
Did you do the ball drop there at Allie's?
No, I didn't. I left a little before midnight. I got home about 12:02 when you went to bed was when I arrived home. Yeah, so I said Happy New Year to my Uber driver.
Did you kiss him?
Yeah, gently, a little bit,
no tongue,
light fingering. No, it was. it was a really nice night, and I had a really good time. And it was fun. I enjoyed myself, and it was no pressure too, which I really love. I didn't have to work either. Great.
Yeah, we were like, flipping around like, okay, what are we going to watch? Is it the Seacrest thing?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to watch the NBC? Which one of the countdown things? CNN, are Andy and Anderson drinking? All of that. Got to see John Mayer calling in from Tokyo because he was on tour.
Nice.
From a cat bar. He was hanging out with cats, but it's like 1 p.m. the next day.
Perfect. Yeah.
But it was
That's
funny
amazing.
because it was like, I wonder if we're going to know, if we know anybody, like, if you know the new acts.
Yeah.
But God, it was throwbacks. It was like LL Cool J and fucking, it was like, oh, let's go to the Bahamas and here's Maroon 5.
Get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah, and it was like, what? It was really strange. It was like, what, like if I was a youngin', I'd be like, what the fuck are these guys doing? But I guess
Carson
they're thinking,
Daly, this is TRL.
Youngin' probably is not watching Ryan Seacrest on ABC or something.
Yeah, and it's still Dick Clark's rocking New Year's Eve, even though Ryan Seacrest. Yeah, it's like, so I got up, on New Year's Day, and I flipped on something on Hulu while I was like cleaning up a bunch of stuff, and it was there. Would you like to watch The Rock in New Year's Eve? I'm like, no, I would not, because it's fucking New Year's Day. But it was season 52, episode 1, because you know how fucking Hulu does that shit. So yeah, it was. But I mean, who the hell's watching that anymore?
I mean, it's fun because but then there's like the ball is sponsored by Kia. Yeah. So it's like Kia's on.
So are
it's
mine.
Like, oh, for Christ's sake. Yeah, and like all the stage had Planet Fitness around it, and I was like, oh, can you just do the? Here's the weird thing that happened. Paul Anka. They roll out Paul Anka to sing My Way, which he wrote.
Yeah, I knew that.
He sings My Way and he changed it.
No. Well, it's a song.
We did it our way. Oh my God, I was so pissed off. Our way. He's like, let's make it all inclusive. It's us and our way. And so he sings the whole thing. And I'm like, I don't care if you wrote it or not. That's not your song anymore.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, it's been assimilated into the zeitgeist.
Yes.
But again, he's an artist. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, you know
don't
what?
have to like
Singing wise, he nailed it. And he's got to be 80 something.
Yeah.
But
immediately my brain goes to Gilmore Girls because she named her dog Paul Anka.
Oh my gosh.
There's a whole episode where they can't figure out between the dog Paul Anka and the human Paul Anka, and it makes me happy. So there you go.
He also did Imagine.
Really? Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Don't sing Imagine.
Why?
Just don't. Like, we're done.
No.
We're done. Like, has it worked out well since John Lennon? Like once all those celebrities did it during COVID, everyone was like, oh my God, cringe. And it's just like, it's just so cringy. It's just so cringy. Yeah. The other guy that was on there is Flo Rida.
Oh.
Who is my favorite boxer in Miami to do rap. Yeah. I love Flo Rida.
Yeah. Dude's got some skills.
But again, like the kids, I don't think the kids know Flo Rida. Like,
no, he's like welcomed them all to his house. Stuff. And they know about his apple bottom jeans.
He did get low. I was like, oh my God, like this is such a throwback.
Low.
I had to look of when it was, because I was like, God, when did this song come out? Because
2009?
It was a while ago. It's from, it was 2008. Yeah, Step Up to the Streets.
I was close.
It's from that movie.
I was really close.
That's a huge movie.
Oh, Step Up to the Streets. Yeah. By the way,
to the streets, like 2ShotsMusicPod.
This is why everybody's confused and can't find us except in Norway where they're smart.
That's right. Because they know what's up.
They know what's up. I sang Imagine on stage in front of a packed out Fillmore Auditorium. No, this was 2017.
Okay, that's fine.
But
prior to COVID, it's fine.
Okay, it was
after COVID. It became cringy.
I got to do it with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. It was really fucking cool, man.
Okay, that's a little bit different. But don't just stand up there with a track. You know?
What about karaoke? What's the ruling? Can I do it at karaoke?
Sure. I mean, I'll make fun of you either way, but yes.
I'm gonna do my way at karaoke for us, and I'm gonna make it our way just to see how much your head pops off your neck.
It was so funny. He had to look down at the pad the whole time. We did it most and took it he like had to keep changing. I took the risk. I wasn't born to we did it. And did it and took this huge breath. Our way. It's also like a weird note to hold long.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to extend our instead of my.
Yeah. And it's all in the back of your throat, and your placement gets weird. Yeah. And you're singing up in that top area.
It was not a good idea.
Yeah.
It did not go over well. Go ahead and Google it. You'll find, I don't think anyone thought it was good.
Oh, come on.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe go find me the one person that did, other than Paul Anka's daughter.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to have so little judgment for Paul Anka.
It's not 80. Anka. You can say Anka.
Okay. I'm sorry. Is it Barcelona? What is it?
Barcelona, Paula Anka. Paula Anka.
Yeah. Ibiza. Paul Anka. What language are they speaking
Egyptian.
Right now?
Paul
He's
Anka.
Egyptian. With an H in the middle.
From Akhenaten.
I'm going to give him a pass. He's Paul Anka. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And also, because it's his
sweet.
Song.
You really are. You would be the worst fucking judge on one of those shows.
I don't want to be a judge on one of those shows.
Oh, you did such a good job. Oh, look at you. You tried. You held the mic. Great. I'm giving you a 5.
I'm Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I am not.
Is Lionel Richie easy on those shows?
I see what you did there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He'll be here all night. All night.
Try the veal.
All night. That was 2. Did you see? I fucking did it again. I hit you again with it.
You Commodore's and soloed me. That was well played. That was well played. I'm very proud of you right now. You are high on all of the cold medicine.
Oh my God! There's 6 people listening to this. Are like, that was funny.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you do resolutions? Did you just set some intentions for 2024? You're like, I want to do this and lean into it.
I'm a planner. I don't really do resolutions, but I'm a planner. Okay. So like I do like the things I'm looking to do this year. I'll tell you something that I did even in my I don't know if it's drunken stupor, but in my cold sweat stupor, I sent myself an email on New Year's Eve. That was it says, "Hey man, a quick note. I could tell you the first line. Hey, it's been a fucking year, huh? That's okay. You made it." And it was basically kind of, I wanted to send myself a note about like what I would send to, let's say to like my closest friend that I wanted to, help prop up a little bit and like, hey, you know what? Last year was okay. It's okay. You made it. And like that kind of note that you send to somebody else, I wanted to send it to myself. And I sent it to myself, basically reminding myself of all the shit I did last year, for as weak as I felt, for as pain as I felt last year, or like I don't feel like I got much done, or I don't feel like I got that far and things. And to kind of remind myself of all the shit I actually did and all the shit that, like we launched a podcast last year.
Yeah.
And haven't missed a week. Like we launched one. It's not a global super success. That doesn't matter. The point is that most people never get past that 10th episode.
Yeah.
And, little things like that and kind of reminding myself of all the things I actually did do. The summer of Simi, of taking care of that dog and all the...
oh, shit. I forgot about that.
I barely made it through that alive, but I did to help other friends' dreams happen. Or, YouTube things that I did for people or other artists that I helped last year that were massive successes.
Yeah.
That weren't necessarily for me, but like my work that I did showed. And so, it was a lovely kind of letter to myself. and kind of like, okay, here's what we're doing next year. And realistically, like kind of the things that we're looking forward to. Yeah. And so I don't really do like, I'm going to drop 20 pounds. I do things more like I want to be healthier. Yeah. I want to have less pain. I want to be more outgoing. I want to do more things without having to worry about health implications of that. There's like little things like that. Yeah. So I don't really do resolutions, but I do plans. And the thing is that my plans are already in motion. So I'm already moving the studio. I'm already doing all of that kind of stuff. We're already changing some things in our house. I'm already making some plans for next year to extricate myself from some of the things that are not. I'm recondoing some things in my life.
Yes.
But they can't happen immediately.
Of course.
So I have to make, signpost plans. I'm like, I've got to do A, B, and C to get out of this exit in an easy fashion, in the best way possible. I'm not one of those people that are like, I got to cut ties with this. I got to end that right away. Like, no. I'm more about like a little bit deliberate change to where it doesn't hurt that thing or me. I'm not about like just burn it all behind me anymore.
Yeah.
I did that a long time ago, but so I'm already, all those plans are set in motion. So it's more about like for me, like recording the catalog, finishing some of these books. There are some of the television and movie projects that you and I have worked on are cropping up again now.
Yeah.
Going to be on stage.
Yeah.
So there are things that are even out of my realm anymore. Like I'm not even in it, that I've already done.
Yeah.
That I'm being pulled back into a little bit. I think you've been pulled back into it a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's things like that are already in motion. And it's my biggest resolution, if I were to make one, is kind of finish and ship. Yeah. Like I have plenty of ideas and starts and half-assed done things. Yeah. But I really am, I'm excited to finish some things and sort of stamp that out the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you? Are you a resolution person? Are you a plan person? Or
no, I'm not a resolution person because I think we've talked about this before, but I'm not a person that draws those lines that the change of the year means I need new year, new me. It comes down to
it's a process.
Okay. It's about like, okay, first of all, I would like to give you some kudos and love for sending yourself a kind letter. I think that's fucking amazing. I wish more people were as kind to themselves in that way. Just to remind yourself of what you did. You actually did do a lot of shit. Yeah. Last year, even though, like maybe it didn't feel like you moved the boulder up the hill as far as you wanted it to, but there's Sisyphus. That's right. But I love that you just said, hey man, that's like the hardest thing to do as a human is to show yourself the same kindness you would show others.
Well, and I've been super fucking hard on myself at the end of this year of last year because, part of it is that there was a time in my life not too long ago, and honestly, it was probably before the brain stuff. Yeah. I was a little bit superhuman. I was able to do unbelievable amounts of, I don't even want to call it work, but creativity, work, output, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Helping run startups, helping with this thing, doing that thing. I could do 17 hours a day on things, still be a pretty balanced human being, have good relationships. Yeah. And my life just sort of changed. And it's been getting used to that of like fighting myself to get back to that kind of output and be like, well, maybe that won't ever happen again.
When you were in
unrealistic expectations,
Yeah. When you were in superhuman form, or as you call it, superhuman form, were you happy? Did that bring you joy to be that person?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I could come up with something and execute it. And I could execute it like knowing how much work it would be. Like I never doubted that I was able to do something I came up with. So whether it was like a music startup or like a huge music project that I had to do or music supervision like on a movie or whatever, and knowing how much work it was going to be, I did not doubt that I was going to be able to get it over the finish line. And then when I did, of course, that's a dopamine hit, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's a like, I did that.
Yeah.
And not all of them, like were completely successful. I mean, a lot of them were successful, but like it didn't come with riches or anything. That wasn't the point. But the point was is that I knew I could set out a plan. I could come up with something and put it down on a piece of paper, write it down on a computer, start it 2 days later, and plan it out and be like, okay, this should be about 3 months, and about 2 days after that, and then 1 day after that, and then bam, I would be there and it would be done.
Wow.
In addition to everything else.
Yeah.
And so now, did it burn me out? Yeah. But I was also able to take a lot more vacations then.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't something that like, I wasn't so burned out like that I wasn't happy about things.
Yeah.
Because I like doing the work. I like creating and doing the things.
Yeah.
It's been this last few years that like when I can't do the work, it also pisses me off,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about not finishing. It's about like, God damn it, I just want to write that scene. Or like there's these 2 projects that are really hot on my mind that like I have to get done in the next few months if they have any shot of being like when you're talking about entertainment stuff, there's like there's one thing that has to be in play probably by March, to be shot by August, to be launched by 2025.
Yes.
If I don't hit that mark, it will be 2026 or 2027.
Yeah.
And so like that's the issue, is that like knowing how to justify what time I can spend on things.
Yeah.
And then there's my shit, right? Then there's like, oh yeah, and also record all those hundreds of songs.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get the catalog taken care of.
Yeah. But so and so I just felt like I needed to be a little bit more forgiving with myself and nicer to myself.
Yeah.
And just be like, okay, well, stop bitching about it. This is very Marcus Aurelius, right? It's like, if you can endure it, then stop complaining and endure it. If it's endurable, then endure it.
Oh, are you a stoic? All right.
No, I absolutely am not. I'm fucking... You click like on one of those things, and Jesus Christ, like every morning it's some sort of meditation.
Oh, man,
no, I know about all. Yes, that's fine. That's great. They also lived in a different time, right?
Yeah,
and they were
died
very
by 30.
rich men, by the way.
Yes,
very rich men. So that's very nice. Good for you.
Oh my God, your liberal is hanging out.
Well, and what's so funny is like the whole thing, like Meditations, that there was like a book that didn't sell. He didn't write it to sell.
Yeah.
And now it's like, we all love that. We love that story about like, oh, it was unearthed, and now we all read it and we look at it. And it's like, okay, what about all of his life's goals of the shit he wanted to write for his own commerce and his own time that he
fuck
didn't
him.
finish?
No, he doesn't get any joy out of this whatsoever. He's just in a pit full of dirt.
Right. He probably died with a whole lot of regret.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
What's that line about like highly motivated? Once all the bodies on Mount Everest were once highly motivated people. Settle down there, Bruno.
With the best plans and the worst Sherpas.
And the worst Sherpas. I still think it's great that you showed yourself a kindness with regards to that letter, and it's a good reminder that you are capable of doing great things. It's a little bit about perspective, because what you did last year was not necessarily move the boulder, but you did set the groundwork for what's going to happen this year. You've got a foundation to build things upon.
I broke a lot of rocks.
You did break a lot of rocks.
Yeah, that's true. I broke a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
And that's all right. And so did you.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah. And so, that's the thing, is that like, you get to, I think maybe as you get older, and for you young people that are listening to this, maybe as you get older, there is a certain amount of like ease when you look back at things and you're like, you know what? You take a little bit of a longer view and be like, okay, that was a year. Fine.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. You don't have to be like, oh, God, I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and now I need to do this to catch up. You don't need to catch up. You just need to do the next thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I constantly have to remind myself about is like, oh, I feel like I got to catch up to some perceived thing that I should have done. And no, I just need to do the next thing and just then do the next thing and do the next thing.
Yeah.
That's all.
What's the next step? That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Really.
So it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Well, let's get to, we had a little, obviously nothing's going on in the music industry except for Spotify fucking up Android. When they did that update, and I've heard from so many people, Spotify's not working on it.
Did not go well.
You don't get your money back for those streams, by the way.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to bring up, because I'm in a conversation, I think I'm doing an interview with these people for the magazine coming up here. There's going to be a lot more stuff in Performer this year with me and stuff. But
fantastic.
One thing that's happening is next year is there's going to be there's a lot of money that just came in this last year toward the end of the year that's pouring in for digital fan clubs. So we all want to create our own little fan club. No one really knows how the right way to do it is. People want to use platforms. They want to have their own email list. They want to, is it monthly listeners? Is it your social media following? All of that kind of stuff. There's a company called Medallion you're going to be hearing a lot about. They just raised, I think, $60.5 million to do this. But it's more about, like, we've talked about this on our shows here. Yes, put your money and your time and your effort on Spotify and Apple and your distributor and SoundCloud and Bandcamp and all those kind of things. Somehow you got to have them in your own pocket. You got to own your fan base, right?
Yeah.
And that's your website, that's your email list or whatever. And so I wanted to take this time to tell everyone, you need to spend this time of the year finding out about your fans.
Yeah.
Half of the shit we talk about does not work if you don't know who your fans are. Mm-hmm. And we talk about that a lot with, like, touring. Like, where are your fans?
Yeah.
Can you tour in Detroit, or do you need to go to Florida? Or whatever, right? But part of this has to do with getting out of just the streaming mechanism. How do you do extra shit? We talk about live streaming. We talk about, should you put out vinyl? Should you put out CDs? Should you put out a cassette tape? All of that. What about showtimes, late night shows, early shows? So how do you find out about that? Well, you need to figure out and find out from your fans. So with your list that you have right now of your fans, you need to create a smartlink. We like Linktree, Linkfire, Koji. Those are all good. Yeah. I think you should have a Stan or a Komi link. You can look into those Komi, Komi. They're basically like store links that are basically like smart links, which you should do. But set up a survey in, like, Google Docs. It's just really easy. About 20 questions. Offer a $100 gift card or whatever as your band, or some unreleased single that no one has. And try to just ask your fans, okay? So you can send this out to the list, but also get people to sign up on your email list or your text list or whatever to fill this out. And it's just ask. I know this is stupid, but if you never ask, you're never going to find out. And so this is one of those things I think you should do. You can do it on social, right? TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And try to get your fans to just interact with this list. Hey, we want to know what you want from us this year as an artist. As our band, we want to know from you guys. And basically, just 20 questions or less. Don't make it too long. But do they or do they not have a record player? Do they have a CD or cassette player? Do they have kids? Do they want earlier shows or later shows? What's their favorite venue to see your band in? What social media do they use the most? Make sure you get their handle. So if you get their IG or whatever, or their TikTok, would they be interested in a VIP package? And then, like, do a general thing of, like, an honest opinion of what they want to see from your band. Do you want different songs, different set lists, different cover songs, new kinds of merch? Is there a different kind of merch that they would want other than a hoodie and a hat? Do they want, do they want stickers? Do they want backpacks? Do they want coffee mugs? That kind of shit. Let you know. And this will give you at least a little bit of a groundwork for, like, if you find out that half of your fans have a record player, you better fucking put out a vinyl this year.
Yep.
If you find out none of your fans have a record player, you don't need to print a vinyl. You don't need to do that.
That's true.
Okay? But you find out that half your fans have kids, maybe you should put together a daytime show.
Yep.
And maybe have a kid-friendly show.
Yeah.
Call it a Kool-Aid show.
Yeah. If you go to a bar and you ask for a Coors Light and they give you a Guinness,
right?
That's not what you asked for. So,
that's
like,
not what you asked for.
That's so. Ask your people what they want.
And this is also like, would they be interested in seeing a live stream? Would they watch a live stream from home? Try to find out if you can get some more information from your fan base about that, and also as a means to build up that email list. So that if you do see one of these new platforms coming, or you want to take your own email list, your own text list, your own fan building community list seriously, this is a good start for you to build that list up. This is a time to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You want to add to that?
I do, because I want to make sure that, like, this is with regards to like customers, like who your customer is and who
right.
And I know but that is not about how you manufacture your product necessarily. That's how you deliver your product is what you're asking. Because these people are fans of your art and your music, and what you're actually asking them is not, hey, do you want to hear me do a version of a Bon Jovi song? You're trusting your artistic instincts, but you're learning from your fans how they want to receive your content.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what content to create.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, there could be some of that. So if some fans say that, like, if someone was like, I think you guys would be perfect covering a Tracy Chapman song, it may be something you never thought of.
Yeah.
Then that may be something for you to consider. You don't have to do it, but But let your fans give you, like, a little bit of a hint in that little like honest opinion section. Let them write whatever they want there.
Yeah. Take the information in and make the decision yourself.
Yeah. But this also, look, we did this back in the day, way back in the day.
Yeah.
On paper. And I will tell you, it's something that will end a lot of band arguments.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. Hey, our people like to see us at 12 o'clock or whatever. I don't know. I have about 20 people here that say, I wish you guys would headline at 10.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. You can have a little bit of data to make some more informed decisions. And, of course, all of your fans aren't going to answer. This isn't a definitive survey. But, like, if you can get enough people, it's also a way to build that email list. Like, hey, join this email list. Give you $100 gift card. We're going to give away one during the month. Whatever. If you want to, you probably don't even need to add incentive.
No,
but nice.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good to send incentives. It's likely to engage some people that wouldn't normally be engaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, when we talk about, like, social media stuff, we talk about how we want to spread the joy and spread the love and, attach people to you as a band or as an individual artist, rather than, make it just about your art and your music and your product. You actually have to connect with them personally. And so part of, getting them to do that is to engage with, hey, what should I do with this?
Yeah. And don't do this on your social pages.
Yeah.
Because make it so that it's like they know other people won't see it. Just the band will see it. You're going to get better answers. You can make it anonymous, but you want to try to get those social handles. And then how do you follow up with this? Well, anyone that answers, okay, they're a hot fan, right? They're a hot fan. They care about the band. They want to give you feedback. Yeah. You make sure to get that handle. You go and you hit their social pages. You light up some of their comments. Yeah. Get involved with them. That's a fan that's worth a lot personally, not money-wise. This is more about building relationships and they will become advocates for you if you do it this way. But I know this sounds all very obvious, but I see very few bands doing this. Yeah. Very few artists doing this. Mm-hmm. And so I just think it's a really good idea. This is a good time of year to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's getting the social stuff, that's a great reason to have that incentive as well.
Yeah.
Because if you want to get this $50 Visa gift card, so you sign up, you have to put your email and your Instagram and your Facebook handle in here so I can communicate with you.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're not entered in the drawing.
That's right. Yeah. And it's really easy, and anybody that does it, maybe they get a free, download or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Or a private link to the song that streams from your website. Yeah. Just get them there somehow. By the way, if you do this on Google, then when people touch on the Google, you'll see them on there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll see them on the Google page. It's really not that hard to set up. Just, Google survey in Docs.
You can do it in Google Forms.
Yeah, Forms
have it be like questionnaire. Yeah.
And that'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the
see you later.
We've
got that to do. Sing. All right. I got to open my list.
Oh. You gonna hit me first?
Yeah, I'll hit you first. Reacher. Have you watched Reacher on Prime?
I love this guy on TikTok that says, over this Christmas break, ask your dad about Reacher. Anyone that's seen Reacher knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Yeah, I do.
It's oh God. Alan Ritchson, I'm still like, so, okay, I came across him in the Titans, like the Teen Titans version of the DC show on, I think it was on Max, but he played Hawk, I believe was the character. And I was always just like, Jesus, that man is immense.
Yeah,
is a word I would use. He is it's a sculpture of a human, and then he's bigger in fucking Reacher, and so just the shit, the kicking of a bumper and making somebody's airbag go off, just like it's just.
Dude, I had to Google whether or not you could do that.
Yeah,
and if you kick it in the right place, you can.
Fuck, he's just a beast of a human, and I find him incredibly charismatic on screen, and so I enjoy it. But in the new season, episode 2, there was a beautiful feature of Possum Kingdom by the Toadies, or by Toadies.
Oh yes,
and I loved it because it was just like, it was referential. They had a reason that song was on in the car. It was on the screen in the car, like the Toadies, Possum Kingdom. I was like, it just all lined up. And it was just like, fuck. Like, that song, would you even hear that song if it came out on rock radio today, just because of the shifting time signatures and what the subject matter, It's like, that song wouldn't exist.
No.
No.
We did
that
in Rup Club.
Oh, we did that in the Cabbage Larrys and the Savage Henrys and all that kind of stuff as well. It's just such a fucking great song.
It's such a weird song that it has become a hit of the time.
Yeah.
It's just a great song.
It is a great song, but it's like kind of obtuse. It's not like you don't listen to it and go, it's not our way.
No.
I'll see myself out, or my way, But it is. There's something about it, and it's just such a weird little monkey. I don't even know how to describe it. But anyway, that was in there. Our friend Anne Klein is the soup on that.
Yes.
It was a delightful placement. And most of the time, I'm such an emotional, feely person. The placement has to ding me in an emotional, touchy-feely place.
Yeah.
And it happens, and that's it's the feeling I get from hearing that in that context that makes me very, very happy. So yeah.
Well, and the joke being that Reacher hates anything but blues music.
Yes.
Can we turn it to blues, please?
Ask your dad.
Like that. It's just so funny that this huge white, clean-cut military dude just listens to Southern blues.
Yeah.
And
knows a shitload about it too.
Knows a shitload about it. But by the way, they have opened up the. Are you caught up now? Or have you watched?
I have not watched. There's a new one today, I believe.
Okay, I haven't.
But I'm caught up
yet.
to this. I'm caught up to the most recent episode.
Yeah, but like if you're continuing to watch this season of Reacher, there are a lot of music cues and talk about music cues. The thing that they get into about Talking Heads
Oh, yeah.
In the restaurant. There's a whole
Yes, I
thing
do.
there.
Yeah,
and,
the whole thing
and
there.
they're right, by the way. But
Yeah.
fantastic. I love the Reacher thing. And what's so funny is I never saw Jack Reacher with Tom
Cruise movies?
Yeah.
I saw both of them, and they're fine.
I never saw him, so I have no reference to why this is so different. I'm like, no, this is my Reacher. Like
other
how
than the
that
guy's
little
4
man
feet
could
taller.
be that guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, everything about this character is so, like, he's gonna win because he's bigger than everyone.
Yeah.
He's gonna win for so many reasons. He's smarter and bigger, and but I mean, part of it's because he's bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just part of it. He's just is.
He just is. He's bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's a fun show. Don't think too much about it, you guys.
Don't think too much about it.
All right, mine comes from HBO.
The Hobo?
The Hobo.
The Max?
Bookie with Sebastian Maniscalco. Okay. Sebastian Maniscalco is in this Chuck Lorre project, Bookie. I think I've spoken about it before.
You have, yeah.
There are tons of great placements in this. They're doing a whole lot of yacht rock, soft hits of the 70s, 80s, stuff like that. But there is one placement, season 1, episode 5, Hit a Motherfucker by 3-6 Mafia.
Nice.
3-6 Mafia does not get enough love in hip hop. For how much I think a lot of people, especially later on in hip hop, we come from that tree of hip hop. And so, and rap specifically, not just hip hop, but fucking rap. Hit a Motherfucker. 3-6 Mafia. What's funny is, like, I've realized with a lot of Chuck Lorre projects, you can't find the music soup. I cannot find the music soup on Bookie.
Oh, really?
It's crazy. I think it's him. I think Chuck Lorre actually, because, you know, he's an amazing musician.
Yeah.
Multiple songs, whatever. And so I think it's the Lorre Productions people that actually do it kind of all together. But if you can find the music supervisor for Bookie, you let me know. Yeah. Because I would love to know, obviously. But anyway, Bookie, if you're into it's a half-hour show. It's kind of fun. It's fun seeing Sebastian Maniscalco in this character role. And there's some other great kind of characters in it. But yeah, Bookie on HBO. I think the season is done now, so you can binge the whole thing. It goes by really quick.
Cool.
But yeah, it's basically a Bookie in LA during the time of now. So like why would you be a bookie? Well, there's a lot of reasons to be a bookie, and there's a lot of reasons for bettors to work with a bookie. So, but yeah, it's kind of a fun show. Look, this is not elevated television, but I think it's a really good platform for Sebastian Maniscalco to kind of show his acting chops. It's nice.
Nice. That's excellent. Excellent choice.
All right, let's wrap this up. Here we go. 2024. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a year.
Make sure to check out StuMillerMusic.com for all of your StuMillerMusic.com things.
When are we going to update your website so people can go visit you? Do you still have your
I do not want
OnlyFans
people
up there?
coming to my website.
Okay, fine. Just your OnlyFans page, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, we're going to probably do something on me like in a month or two.
Okay.
But don't come to me. You can't afford me. It's okay.
Oh, wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
No, it's all right.
I can't.
Email
afford
us
you.
if you think you want to. If you think you want to use me, but the people that use me have my number. It's all right.
Yeah, that's fair. They do.
No, I've got to finish it, dude. I don't need to.
Finish and ship.
Finish it. Yes.
Yep.
Finish and ship. Remember to rate and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Leave a hilarious comment over there on Apple Podcasts. 2 Shots Music Pod, wherever you find your people that you follow on social media. You can also email us 2shotsmusicpod@gmail.com. That is the number 2 shotsmusicpod@gmail.com.
Wow. You did that all in one breath, I think.
That's right. KHOT 95.5, Santa Monica's hottest radio station. By the way, that's another podcast coming up.
Well, all right. Well,
Kelsey, thank you so much for keeping us started rocking. All right, you guys, we hope you're off to a great start on 2024. And until we talk to you next time, we love you. Write a great song. You look marvelous.
You're gorgeous, darling. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're gorgeous. Stop it. All right, love you. Bye.